So I have been using 1080p 24-inch monitors for a little over 10 years, and it's been due for an upgrade. But since there was so many choices, I wasn't sure what to choose until I found this. These are the Samsung Odessey G5 27-inch monitors, and I'm going to talk about it today. So I finally decided on these monitors because I ended up getting them on sale for about $220 a piece, which was a steal at the time. Right now they're roughly between $289 and $349, depending on if there's sales or anything like that. Just to kind of run down through the specs, this is a 1440p monitor. It's 144 hertz. It has AMD FreeSync. It has an 1000R curvature, which is basically the curvature of the monitor itself. HDMI 2.0 and DisplayPort 1.2. So far, I've used this for about 6 months. Yeah, I know, it's a little delayed. But I have to say that the curvature was a small adjustment, but after a while, the immersion is amazing. Going through servers and logging in for the work that I do, and even reading documentation, websites, YouTube, gaming, the curve itself brings so much immersion to the content, any of the content, including games, movies, and whatnot. The size, I was expecting it to be a little too much for me, but honestly, with the way that it's set up right now, it is perfect. There is one problem that I don't like about the monitor, which is why you see them on the stand, is the stand itself is terrible. It has no pivot, it doesn't move. It's just stationary with like a little bit of pivot going up and down. I highly recommend getting a stand like this where you can actually adjust the monitors to your liking. The monitor does have HDR10 rating, but given that I don't really consume HDR content or play any games that have HDR, I can't really validate. Do know that this is a VA panel, so the colors are not as vivid, but coming from a 24-inch 1080p, it was a huge difference night and day. Deciding between this panel and maybe a Gigabyte or an MSI that I was actually looking at, I ended up finding these on sale, which was pretty much the deciding factor. And let me tell you something, I am so glad I did. Going from the 24-inch monitors that I had, they're 1080p, 60 hertz, 24-inch. I think they were just generic Acer monitors. To this level of monstrosity, for me, it's amazing. I don't have anything really like pushing, that would require like high-level graphics, like any like AAA games or anything like that. Most I play is probably like Warzone or something like that. They're not extremely demanding. But given that my computer is kind of like a mid-level gaming machine that does also content creation, I do live streams, which you can go ahead and check it out, twitch.tv/pianobytes, which I will be updating it soon. Or you can check it out on my YouTube channel. I'm streaming there every Tuesday and Thursday as well. So one of the other reasons I wanted to get a 1440p was the upgraded resolution. I wanted to be able to get more real estate, more in general. I've been running, like I mentioned, the 1080p monitors for such a long time. This was literally the last thing I needed to upgrade. My tower, if you can see it right here, this is it's an i5 9600K running 32 gigs of RAM. It has an AMD Radeon 5600 XT, which I got it. I built this entire computer right before the pandemic, which was excellent timing because everything now is just getting parts is just a pain in the butt. But the best thing about this setup right now is the monitors. The monitors are probably the most striking, I guess you can say, part of my setup, because just you see this massive curvature of a screen that is just like immersive. You just look at it and it's just massive. Do I recommend it? Yes, but with an asterisk. Now they have the G7s and the G9s, which are a little bit larger. They have different aspect ratios. I think this one, the G5, has a 32-inch model, but the G7 has, I think, a 34-inch model. And then there's a G7, I think, ultra-wide and a G9 ultra-wide, which is basically just this whole panel in one. Color fidelity, I can't tell you for sure. I don't have a method to measure it. But I do have to say that this is a big upgrade, going from 1080p 24-inch monitors to 1440p 27-inch 144 hertz monitors. Besides that, one thing I do have to mention is this curvature right here does take some adjusting, because you can see it has a slight warp depending on what you're doing. It might take you a few days, maybe in a few weeks, to get adjusted, but after a while, when you have your setup the way that you want it, this immersion for anything that you do is awesome. I don't think that I'm going to go back to any flat panel monitors anytime soon. I think even my next one might be an ultra wide, but that's many years down the line. If you want to see more of my content, I have a few more videos coming up. Also, you can join me on Twitch and on YouTube. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday around 8:30, and we can go ahead and talk tech there. I'm doing a lot of now IT stuff, and if you're interested in getting to IT or getting to know what IT does, definitely recommend you to join me on stream, and we'll be talking about all of that. Comment down below what you guys think about these monitors, and have a good day.